One of the migrants that contacted me was in relation to his application for Fee Waiver. So for some reason, I don't know where they got this information from, and I hope it's not from my video, that they somehow believed that it was okay to apply for Fee Waiver for extending their leave to remain as a student, extending their leave to remain as a skilled worker. So this particular applicant applied for Fee Waiver, and for some reason they got the Fee Waiver. And I think the reason why they got their Fee Waiver, it's because Fee Waiver application is not an immigration application. So what it does, it just assess whether or not you can afford to apply for immigration fees. It doesn't really assess whether or not you'll be successful with your immigration application. So although in the beginning of this application, this Fee Waiver form will ask you, what are you going to apply? What's the purpose of this Fee Waiver? Which immigration application are you going to do? Are you going to make? It's not job to assess whether or not you're entitled. So anyway, to cut the long story short, he applied with his wife for Fee Waiver, got successful. But for some reason, he then proceeded to apply to extend his application, and I think it's in relation to human rights. He came as a student and his wife as a dependent, and there are some health issues, and he included that in his application. But unfortunately, because his student visa already expired, when the employer checked whether or not he has a right to remain in the UK, naturally, the result was he didn't have a right to remain in the UK. He didn't receive a decision letter for his main application. And then that's probably because his student visa expired, and there's probably a gap already because he made an application for Fee Waiver, believing that would have given him time to then submit his main application. But unfortunately, if you look at it from technical point of view, unless you already extend your student visa application before its expiry, it doesn't really care whether or not you've made up the Fee Waiver application, because as a student, you don't have a what is called 3C leave. So your right to remain in the UK as a student doesn't extend unless you've already made an application before your visa has already expired. So that's the technicality, because some of you, I don't know who, some of you may not know, and you need to know this. If you read the Fee Waiver Home Office guidance on this application, it says fee waivers are only for those people who are applying or renewing the visas under the human rights category. So there's, I think, 4 categories there. That's like discretionary leave, you're renewing your family visas, so RM, marriage visa, spouse visa, 5 years, 10 years root child visa, dependent visa. But it excludes those indefinite leave to remain. So if you want to apply for indefinite leave to remain, and let's say your visa limited leave to remain expires, but you applied for Fee Waiver thinking that this will give you time and you can continue living in the UK and apply for indefinite leave to remain, that's a serious mistake, because you're not exempt from fees. You have to pay the fees. People who are on work visas cannot apply for Fee Waiver. I'm saying cannot. You can submit application, but it's a mistake that you're going to make if you apply and relying on the fact that you are waiting for your Fee Waiver application decision before making the main application. And the other one is the student visa. Okay, so those 3 categories, that citizenship as well. Naturally, if you want to apply for naturalization, you are not exempt from fees. You have to pay it unless you're under 18, which you can apply. So the mistake is, even though you have got this Fee Waiver code and you've been successful with it, when you then apply for your main application and you found that's already long been expired, the Home Office will not accept will not even, you've already overstayed. Okay, you've already overstayed. So too late. Even though you can argue that, oh yeah, but I have the fee waiver code. It's been successful. You can never use that argument with your main application. Okay, so those are the very important consideration when you're making for fee waiver application.